Armand enters the room somewhat solemnly as he sees Gilbert's possessions. Unsure of what to say to Reveka as he makes a few steps closer.
Reveka.
She continues to look to the floor, unflinching.
I'm so sorry. It should not have been him. He was a far better man than I.
Reveka sees, hears nothing.
I do not expect anything, for I deserve nothing from you. But I felt, nonetheless, that I needed to tell you how deeply I regret what has transpired. And though that might not change anything, going forward, every waking moment I shall spend trying to live up to the legacy of Gilbert. Trying to make up for the sacrifice that he made to make sure that even though he gave his life for a lesser man, that would not be in vain, that I could make some of the change he wished to see in this world. I am sorry for bothering you here. I understand that you must hate me, and I could never blame you for that. But I felt it needed to be said. I am sorry.
She stands up. A very small figure, hunched slightly. And she shuffles over to him. Stares up at him. After a moment, she lifts a hand with a extended claw, curling it inward several times for him to lean forward if he dares.
He will do so.
As he does so, she places her claws to his cheek. He can feel how sharp they are, that if she wished to press inward, she could easily penetrate his cheek and puncture to his brain without any effort. But though it's a tense moment, she whispers a single phrase to him. Klana inayite de tuate. And with that, she drums her fingers with enough precision that even though, again, they could pierce his skin and deal aggressive damage to him, they just prick him gently. And then she pulls her hand away without smiling and still hunched, wanders over to this book, sits down once more, and looks ahead. Does Armand speak Romanian?
Ah!
Oh, then you
They
don't
look
know
at
what she
his.
said.
I highly doubt it.
You don't
It's
speak
like
Romanian.
English, French, Dutch,
Nope,
fucking
nope,
German.
nope,
No.
nope,
Oh
nope.
my. Ah! Can you try and remember the phrase so you can have it
And
translated later?
composure -1.
Okay, that's oof, he can't spend his last will. Oh, and he really wants. Oh. Yeah.
All right, he'll remember.
Whew.
Well done. Okay, remember.
Alright. That's all we wanted to do.
All right.
So much lonelier here now.
Yeah, fucking dig.
I
Legal embrace of motherfucker. Like rule number 1. Okay, that was rule number 3.
It's
I
definitely top 3.
think 6 is destruction. Maybe 6 is actually.
It's up there.
It's 1 of 6. I'll tell you that much. Masquerade's 1, the Progeny's 3. It's 6 is destruction, yeah. Mustn't do anything.
I guess not. What does the official list say?
There's no
Nothing.
list. No one want to do anything.
No, they wouldn't
Well,
do
I
it.
guess it's not so
Okay.
official.
Yeah,
No, we're at the year.
Abraham wants to talk to Olga, apparently.
That's a thing for their group, though. That's not the.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
just saw
outside
this in
the-
chat.
It's not here. I have all that
Isn't
set
it-
up for the other.
Isn't it time anyway for you to switch over?
No, in an hour.
Oh, an hour.
Oh, another hour.
Hey, you all got time if you want to
8:30,
chat
it's
somebody up.
7:30.
Oh.
Let's see if there's anyone else Armand want to talk to. Because I don't mind. I like talking to people.
Mari will talk to Valkyrie, but if you want to have Armand talk to somebody first,
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
mind.
I'm eating right now, so you can go first by all means.
Oh, gee. Oh, nice.
Valkyrie.
What?
Alright.
The almost dead, I believe they call her.
I don't think anyone. Maybe they want to. They could. Nothing
Be a
stopping them.
mean
from doing
nickname, I guess.
that. I mean, I know where she. Song. I thought it was good too. Get a watch. Right. Mari knows that Valkyrie remains atop of the bell tower whenever she's on a mission. She goes there and
Right,
finds
okay.
it.
All right. Valkyrie isn't hiding again, is she?
No, she's just in there.
Okay. Mario will greet her with a smile and a kind of like widening of her arms, like just a warm gesture. I just wanted to see how you were, Valkyrie. None of us escaped out of there alive, or unscathed, but you were hurt particularly badly.
That's really heroic, Mari. That's a good speech, apparently. It really was swell. It was a swell of emotion in the music.
Yeah,
whenever
that was
Really,
pretty
really
fucking
good.
rad. In fact, Mari goes, Valkyrie, you son of a bitch. They clasp arms and flex.
Jesus Christ, that was really, really impressive. Oof. Well done. There was a song for her stupid tower, but I don't know where it is.
You can always title it Valkyrie's Stupid Tower Song.
Yeah, you know, I should. Just make fun of her more. She didn't do anything about it.
No.
Weak.
Loser.
What is it?
Valkyrie's the best.
All this music is all fucking dramatic and dark. What the fuck? Calm down. It's normal music.
Let Valkyrie listen to her tunes. What the hell?
She's not goth enough. At least not yet.
Here you can go. No, that's a Technocratic Alien song. That's what's playing right now. Too bad.
What if you just looped the Kleine Soldaten sounds over and over again in the background?
No one would complain.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna use this. Fine, this is fine. Upon Mari's statement, she lifts a hand to herself as if to inspect it, and then lowers it and nods. Quietly, she mutters, "Okay," and that's all. Actually, when Mari enters, she actually shuffles closer toward her. Kind
Okay.
of not standing fully, but kind of using a hand to move over toward her, then scooting that direction and resting again.
Okay, like Golluming over to her.
A little bit, but not entirely full Gollum-esque, definitely. She is fairly injured though. Given her injuries and how much she hasn't healed yet, her wings are torn, skin's not yet mended. You can see bone beneath her flesh, but she seems to be able to move.
Yeah. I hope you will take enough time to recover while here. I will be leaving soon, but I just wanted to thank you for your assistance. It was more valuable than you realize. The directions helped us find our way around very nicely.
She smiles meekly at the gratitude. When Mari indicated she was going to leave, she placed her hands on the wall so she can stand as well.
No, stay here.
One of her wings droops, still broken, but the other attempts to flex it to fly, and then she relaxes it slightly. And after a moment, she sighs and sits back down.
While you are recovering, though, I do have a request of you. If you will be able to see it through. And if it would not be too much trouble.
She watches.
Fuck, I keep forgetting the name of the village that
Dark
we
Hamlet?
own. Dark Hamlet.
Yeah, because it oddly.
Yeah, because it's so generic. I mean, it fits. 1 second. I've got a great idea. When we were gifted the village of Donkoki-Hust, we were also given responsibility over the inhabitants. And while we are gone, I was hoping that you could watch over it and see that nothing untoward happens to them. And if there is something amiss going on in the village, that you might be able to tell me of it, if anything.
Roll present persuasion +2.
Nice, nice, nice.
Gridani is also the worst city, just wanted to point that out.
Gridani is definitely the worst city. Nice!
6 successes.
See, this is why you never spend will, ever. For any reason.
She smiles and nods. After a moment, she moves a finger to her lips, opens her mouth, and taps her fangs while looking at her.
Let's see. Mari doesn't seem to get it. She looks a bit curious at that. Are you asking if you may feed while you're there? Of course.
She shakes her head. And then after a second, others kill.
As their kindred, you mean?
She nods.
Don't hunt them.
She shakes her head
It's-
at that.
Watch them.
Nods.
And if it is possible, try and prevent them from doing anything untoward to the villagers. But otherwise, just watch them.
Alright. She nods happily.
Mari will smile again. Thank you. You're one of the few that I can count on here.
It makes her smile all the more.
Alright, that's all I got.
Alright. Valkyrie will try to watch over the village.
Nice
What a
to see
cool
that Mari
gal.
can be nice to some people.
Thanks.
Well, some people are more deserving than others.
Wow.
I thought she was a communist.
Well,
Some people
Yeah,
are more
so
equal than
they're-
others.
Wow.
that
Animal
on
farm
that
shit.
note, Bear has to talk to Augustus about something.
Okay.
That's gonna be an enlightening conversation.
Oh yeah.
We are defenders of the night. We are gargoyles.
She is defending that. She's a gargoyle. Nice.
We just hire Keith David.
Yeah, easy.
Has Broken Rider's vocabulary gone down at all since the last time we saw him?
Why? Who are we aiming for here?
Someone with a one-word vocabulary. An enlightened
Pokemon?
person.
A what person?
An enlightened person.
With a one-word vocabulary. Oh.
Protein.
Vitae. Vitae. We're looking for Augustus. Okay, easy. Okay, good. Alright. I know we're gonna find him, man. Don't you worry about that.
Oh god.
Guy got nothing to do with this buddy on the tech. This could be good for you guys, or this guy doesn't like you. Where'd I put the watcher? I just had it. Oh, here it is. Alright. Augustus is in the area where usually the priests are at, though they're not there for the time.
There is. Gonna swagger on in. What's Augustus doing? Is he doing some evil
Standing
shit?
with his hands behind his back, staring ahead.
That's not unsettling at all. Augustus.
He glances over his shoulder slightly and then looks back ahead.
Barrel. Step up.
There. Is there something you need?
Yep. Step up beside him. Kind of look where he's looking.
Roll your humanity as chance die.
Let me check my humanity real quick. Okay.
Very briefly, John Bears thinks he sees something. It's a figure made entirely out of shadows. It could be feminine or simply very slender. Though after a moment, it dissipates into the other shadows, and there's only emptiness left before them.
John does not comment on this and just keeps staring forward for a moment and then over to Augustus. You have a unique way of hunting, don't you?
Unique? What do you mean unique?
Well, shooting above their head, hurting in a way.
That is a very natural way of hunting.
Don't you tell me about it? Just kind of trails off at that, and anyways, got something of a mission for you.
He looks into John Bear's eyes slowly. Where normally he had a kind of discordant, unhinged look about him. He's disturbingly settled now, in fact, as if medicated almost by something that is really calming his soul. But even his soul seems to be shifted away, as if it's a little bit off-center. But he is calm. Very, very calm in this moment.
Bear just looks back for a moment and then forwards again to see, what, just kind of trying to what the hell is happening, but he shrugs it off. It's a cold shit. You noticed how that village, most of the villagers there, kind of weak in comparison. A lot of kids and sickly sort.
Kinda weak by nature. That is why we feed on them.
That is true in a sense. Anyways, I need you to find the strongest, those that we can look after, replenish ourselves off of. And we're gonna try and support those sorts. Make it so we don't run out of food in a way.
What do you mean, run out of food? There is
Well,
always something to hunt.
Ease of access.
Ease of access are the ones that are slower and easier to catch.
Yep, fatten them up, make them healthier.
I am not some farmer.
Well, I know you're cannily good at tracking people, investigating. Keep tabs on them. And I got kind of a plan. Give them a mark. Make sure no one goes about killing what we're feeding off of.
And what happens if someone does kill something that we're feeding off of?
Well, teach them a lesson.
You smile the fanged smile. It lasts a few seconds too long. What kind of lesson are we going to teach them?
Something appropriate, I figure.
I like appropriate lessons.
So, interested?
Roll. Coterie. Nope. Pack. Nope. It is Bearer Pack. Bear has a 10 to Augustus, and Augustus has a 1 to Bear.
Yeah.
Make a friend's persuasion -2 because he doesn't want to fucking farm.
Well, it's not a good roll. Who knows? Maybe something will happen.
Maybe.
Oh!
Okay. Of course, he has 4 composure. You're right.
Ah, shit.
But that could fail. Make it composure. Just composure. I'll see what I can do. Of course, in my view, kinda only worth as much blood as they carry. I don't kill them, you know? But they don't need to be coddled either. The strong rise and the weak fall, and we feed all the same.
Well, either way, we'll be getting more blood for what we do. Keep us together.
As you say, John Bear, mein Doctis, of course.
Well, I'll leave you to your contemplation.
Be well in the night.
Yeah, you too. Then he'll look to where he saw whatever that was earlier and then just head on off.
Auf Wiedersehen. Alright. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know why he made the pale blonde person, La Sombra, gather ghouls, but Doki.
Well, we're investing in the herd, Merritt.
You invested in something.
Yeah, this is
Probably mass murder.
Pale blonde La
bye to your
Sombra.
herd.
No, you may get a herd out of it.
No, we'll see what happens. He's really good at finding people, so candidly good at it.
Really just hunting down the same person over and
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
That's
A
that's
child,
his thing.
too.
Yeah, a child that he's
killing-
exhaustion hunted.
Sometimes you gotta work with what you're given.
Okay, John Bear did his. Who else need to talk to somebody? We'll figure out what they want to do. I will add to the.
Oh, jumpy.
Valkyrie's a nice little buff, though.
Looking as I type in
Good
my
job, Mark.
chat. Don't know what you type in my chat. And I put.
Because I had to use the stupid tilde. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Like it enter. I don't care.
Augustus doesn't strike me as a good person. Or,
Really?
Wow.
Some
What
type
gave you
of
that
What
idea?
made you think that?
some type of shadow savant that learned how to path the night in the night. It's
Path of Night
millennia
just means you like the darkness, right?
of the human soul.
Well, who doesn't like? Come on, whatever.
I mean, how can Path of Night be evil? One of their sins is killing people.
Yeah.
Like you can't kill people. ... Because then they can't be tortured anymore. Oh, so you couldn't even commit to that, huh? You had to make that evil. Murder is bad because the fun stops.
I mean, his lineage is pretty alright, with one exception.
Yeah, PLR.
No, Oracula.
Cast. Oracula's gonna fuck up your character pretty soon. It doesn't even matter. You know what? It'll be fine. We'll love it. You think Cal V Powers had it bad? You wait till you get the Oracula special. Oracula aged question mark.
Adult.
Yeah.
Adulthood.
I could really empathize with Lisbeth during the trial because the Savant was technically saying correct things in the most insufferable way possible.
Oh, it wasn't like I'm a fucking disgusting scumbag. One was like I'm an obnoxious shithead. Yeah. Infant artist out there. Are you gonna talk to anyone here, Ray? You got 30 minutes.
Sorry, I was like half zoned out. I think the one that was mentioned first was Oracula. Just because I wasn't sure if she had mentioned the black blood thing.
Let's see, you did your roll. Blah, blah. Go play. Alphonsine. Where's the watcher? After the court, you can consider to do it. So she's gonna do it. And then, okay. Basically, the last thing that was said was the last thing she said was, "I'll do it." Basically, okay. What are you gonna do?
She'll give the altar a look up and down, sort of not, or sort of like this is the first time she's seen it. Before looking back at Oracula with. I'm sorry, I'm just checking real quick. Can you hear anything in the background? Because I have like a pretty loud sound. Okay.
I hear you.
But to look Oracula over with a nod of thank you.
Why are you thanking me?
Is that not what you do, then your appropriate behavior.
Well, I like doing this because you could die from it, of course, and that's fun to me. The drama of it. If I fail, you die. If I succeed, you're in awe. Win-win.
So stop at the whole notion of death. You can die from this. It's
You can die from anything, sir, but yes, you can certainly die from
is that the most extreme of things that could happen?
death. I don't think so.
I meant in regards to the ritual. But
Well, I mean, if something dies and it's gone forever, so it's not very extreme. The pain ends. But if you keep living, keep your hurt all over again, and I can mend you again and try to kill you once more. I mean, heal you once more.
and how often have you killed people with this ritual?
She thinks. More than 15, and less than 30.
She'll look a little wide-eyed at this and kind of shocked, I think is the word for it. But sort of resume looking a bit sobered, as if contemplating the fact that they are going to fight something. I suppose it's in the end as it I hear when the voivod, if it's strong enough, it's inevitable in some fashion. Possibly.
She shrugs. Roll wits occult. Actually, wits composure unless you're occult higher.
No, I just have a higher composure.
Alright. Fonzie notices that Oracula's eyes are actually entirely black. She might assume that that makes something to do with what she's going to do as well. In fact, as they're talking, the shadows around Fonzie are beginning to solidify into a noticeable presence.
Going on that this is probably the somber magic. I don't think she'd outright panic. But she will look a bit interested in it, actually. Almost sort of glancing down at the shadows and looking around as if I want to say she'll like do that testing thing that people do where they kind of like reach a hand out almost to test sort of the tangibility of what's going on around her.
What are you doing?
sorry. This is fascinating.
Is it?
Yes, not seen this before, so it's.
Well, you're very composed despite never seeing this before.
A gift, I think. Perhaps to my nature, but
She tilts her head.
curiosity, really. She'll kind of place her hands to her side.
Well, if your curiosity is sated, then I'm going to enter the next part. The part that could kill you. You have to stay still. Completely still. If you move at all, I may slip. My ritual may go wrong. A demon may eat your soul. I don't know. The abyss is a very scary place.
She'll nod and stay very still.
Actually, you can roll a wit subterfuge.
With the hiding emotion specialty counter, is that more geared towards lying?
It's more towards lying. It's an offensive action.
Oh.
Okay. She's not entirely certain, but Oracula could be lying right now. Up in the air a little bit.
I think because she's semi-aware of what has been said about Oracula's dramatic nature, and seeing it sort of unfolding a little bit with this, she won't comment as to the lie, but humor sort of she'll go along with it because she doesn't want to offend the whole fact that Oracula may, if she were to contest that, feel offended or something.
Roll manipulation subterfuge. +1.
Wow.
At least you can get a success there. So she squints at her for a moment. You think that's a joke, don't you? About the demons in the abyss. You know there are demons in the abyss. God banished them there. They lurk about, looking for a way into our world. Some people even say they found a way in, through the shadows, in the darkness of the night, and that if you don't keep your guard up, literacy meets like you go missing, and no one says anything, because they're afraid that perhaps the demons will come for them next. Isn't that tantalizing?
Wow. She will blink very slowly, only once, but give Oracula a look that is similar to almost childlike wonderment, if not awe and curiosity mixed. Sort of she understands the threat of it, but something about the idea of the abyss and this occult nature of the world it almost tickles like that innate curiosity she has. Also, she probably likes Oracula's voice. So.
Alphonsine gives a little gasp, like I guess reaction for a moment. Not necessarily gasp, I guess like the awe expression. The shadows begin to coil about her more intensely then, until they actually are squeezing her in place. And in front of her, and before her eyes, the veil seals about her. And Oracula lifts her fingers and begins weaving them back and forth. Okay. She didn't mention the blood, so she don't know about her blood. Until, I guess she's cut.
Which is probably Friday.
Probably. Okay. Someone else you want to talk to? Or anyone else?
I had wanted to try and recruit either Carrion or Davina to the mission, but
Try.
I'm still sort of wobbly on the whole idea because I didn't get a chance to do it then.
They just wouldn't be in Fridays as well. Definitely wouldn't be in then, but they might be one after.
Gotcha. I guess Davina would probably be.
There's Davina. Leaning against the wall. Actually standing against it. Leaning against a different wall.
So as she approaches Davina, she'll straighten out her coat, sort of take a little bit of a more formal posture. Take time to really remember the first time she talked to her and the fact that I think it was like Davina is multilingual.
Yes.
So I give her a bit of a formal, I guess, curtsy before speaking. Dame Davina.
She looks toward her and lifts her eyebrows, then settles them once more.
As she continues to speak, she'll kind of make sure that her Dutch is pronounced, given that it's multilingual too. So try to make it less terrible. Sort of like she did in the court, where it's a bit slower spoken, but with purpose, actually sounding out words. We are going to LxU soon, a small group, and I know that the creatures we are fighting are much stronger than some may expect. The first time we had enough help and reluctance in rallied persons while we were there. Same might not be said for this time. You are remarkable with your weapon, I have heard. and I thought that perhaps I might ask for your assistance with this task.
This is the second time you've asked a member of Templari di Drago for assistance. Are you some kind of beggar, Simitsi?
She'll tilt her head a little bit.
To be honest, I have never very much liked the Simitsi, but I do like fighting, so if you will go to your knees and ask me for my sword, I may give it to you, depending on how nicely you ask from your knees, Simitsi.
Let me check something. She will very much consider the she'll sort of consider the commentary that she's had, sort of the whole factor that she's been told that, you know, they're rulers and stuff like that, and that they're supposed to be, you know, very certain with, they have to possess certain mannerisms, but also the fact that I think Arl has mentioned to her before, he's definitely mentioned the pride issue.
Yes.
But I'm trying to remember the commentary on effectively shame, or the feeling of it, because I know he really disliked the pride issue.
Well, I don't think if I had to, I'm sure he wouldn't say seek to be humiliated. He probably said there are times to be humble, but
yeah,
also your pride is a mark of, guess, of your lineage too. So it's really difficult to put in words exactly.
Yeah. But she'll take note particularly of the commentary as to beggar Samitsi, sort of thinking about the various things she's taught, and also the fact that this really is the second time that she's kind of asked for some kind of waylay of assistance. It's hard to say what she would do. This is not...
Let me see one thing quickly. Alright.
It's just hard to say what she'd do because there's that whole commentary that she's not really a fighter.
You can roll wits empathy if you'd like.
This isn't a bad roll for me.
She can't tell anything exactly. Tamina just staring at her.
think I know how to spin this in her mind. So she'll kind of give Davina a bit of a conflicted look. Before shaking her head a little bit. I would not consider it begging, but I admit there is a lack of skill I have in combat. And even then, I recognize that others, like you, are better in that manner. I would not seek to offend with the nature of begging. Sorry, I'm like really tired, so I'm trying to piece this together fast. I would instead think of this in some manner as a humbleness to your ability and to the skill that you are present with. She, after saying that, she'll kind of look down at her hand for a moment. Just before kind of making sure that when she does actually lean down to give her, I guess, I'm gonna be honest, because she really wants to fucking help. Before she goes to a knee, just to make sure that her coat doesn't ride up too high or anything, and that when she stands again, it'll be less of a wrinkle.
Roll presence persuasion +5.
Oh god, that's the bad number. Can I cheat and roll a 1 and then a 10?
Whatever you want to.
I'm
On the
scared
11
of
die to
11s.
roll.
Look, I'm scared of the 11 curse.
Could do a 6 and a 5. 7 and a 4. That's you. Broke the 1, so maybe they can. I'll roll hers on GM.
The 11
All
scares
right.
me.
Just so you know, none of the words before that, prevarication, better left for courtesans than actually leaders, lords, fiends. Remember that in the future. As for now, we'll see what your groveling has gained you. but know that there are far worse things you could do than kneel for the sake of your pack. And don't waste your time being ashamed of that.
You know, she'll give her a very firm nod at this lesson and the wisdom that she shared, because it really does speak to something inside of her. Particularly in regards to her pack.
Alright? She doesn't have anything else to say? Let's see. That.
No, that's it. Because I'm getting sleepy.
Alright.
And if I do anything else, I might, like, mess it up.
You're okay. We'll see what happens with that on Friday. You got the healing. It's good.
He's good.
Yay.
It's good.
Got time for one more?
How fast is that one more?
It's a short conversation.
With who?
She can talk to Belle or Orchili. Although she
Orchili,
prefer.
the-
Okay, that's fine.
Where is Belle and Orchili? And Watcher is with the racket. Alright.
She comes in after. Okay, after the court meeting. Orchili, I have a question.
She stops and looks back at her.
Are all of them true? Negative towards us?
What do you mean negative?
Distrustful.
Prince Lisbeth, trust me. She is here on my behalf, at least at my behest. But it is true, Prince Lisbeth is not like most Ventra. And I suppose I'm not like most Ravnos, so hard to say. Generally speaking, we are independent. In the Ventra represent the Camarella's greater interest, so no, we normally don't get along.
That is helpful to know. There's a Ventru who I have worked with, but she's very cold. Obviously so.
Mari, the fledgling that Argyle embraced?
Belle nods.
Ventra are ultimately very particular and selfish about things. If you want her to like you, or at least if you want her to be nicer to you, find what she holds sacred and dear. Take it from her and hold it closer to yourself. Then she'll seek you out, and she will be more willing to be accommodating to your desires.
Belle nods, but then hastily adds, I am not trying to force her to like me. I am not so shallow, but her animosity gets in the way of the mission sometimes. I just want her to, if not respect me, ignore me.
Respect.
Belle shrugs.
That is harder to gain from a Ventra than their blood. But find what she cares about and use it to your advantage. There is a gargoyle she is particularly fond of.
Valkyrie.
Do what you can to win it over.
Belle nods, and she seems satisfied with that answer. Thank you.
On your mission, what did you see of the conditions of our people?
Belle shakes her head. They were not good. George found many of them, and we brought them back. Some did not make it.
But Korani, she destroyed the facility, yes?
The facility burned down, yes.
Good. Thank you. Continue to serve Prince Lisbeth well, and you will find yourself much elevated in the night, I promise you.
Belle nods and steps back to signal she's finished.
Orchili walks off.
Okay.
Also, the last thing, I'll venture her gay, basically, so just flirt with her. She'll be gay at you. It's going to happen.
Belle grew up in a good Jewish home and doesn't know what that means.
Coincidentally.
What?
Coincidentally.
What? Coincidentally, what?
There's a lot of homosexuality in the Jewish community.
Okay, let's see.
What did I miss?
People talking to people.
Hey, Sanguine.
Hello.